In keeping with his vision of a responsive and proactive extension service, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa has launched another phase of the revamping currently underway, involving every agency that falls under the Ministry of Agriculture. This latest phase involved training of extension staff of the agencies, training that will be ongoing and comprehensive, with a view to having the officers more capable of responding to the changing needs of the nation's farmers. Delivering remarks at the start of the training this past week, Minister Mustafa told the extension staff, agencies, and department heads that government has laid down a blueprint for the advancement of the local agriculture sector and has laid upon the nation's farmers an expectation that they will engage in modern agricultural practices and in so doing must be able to provide the support the farmers will need in this regard.
The expectation out there is higher than when we started almost 2.5 years ago. And that is because the vision of the Ministry of Agriculture would have changed over time. And today we have a vision that is being driven by His Excellency the President of our country, first of all, and also we have a vision that is being driven regionally by countries in CARICOM. And those countries are looking forward to us, Guyana, for that guidance and leadership. Although the expectation at home is higher than before, we are now having to work in a different way in giving guidance and leadership also regionally. That means our focus has to change. We have to ensure that we impart the knowledge that is out there. We utilize all the resources that are available to move this sector forward. We know for a fact that the administration have been putting a lot of effort in this sector, the agriculture sector, because we have been working through a pandemic. We have been working through different crises, and we have seen what has happened around the world, where many countries that have large sums of money were unable to procure food for their population. And as a country that is rich in agriculture history, a country that have been leading the agriculture sector over the years in CARICOM. As I said, there is a lot of expectation. Our current agricultural development program is being driven by Vision 25 by 2025. And that means if CARICOM has to achieve Vision 25, Guyana has to play that leading role. And we are already seeing that Guyana is moving in that sphere in pushing the agriculture sector forward. At the same time, whilst we are doing that, we want to also raise farming household incomes, create jobs, especially for young people, and improve the economic status of every single person in our country. We have seen, and I have been making these points across the country whenever I go, that we want also to bring in a new set of people in the agriculture sector. And if we have to do that, we have to make this activity more attractive for the young people. We have to move from the labor intensity that have developed over the years to ensure that we make agriculture more modern, we make the activity more simpler so that young people can buy into it. That means that you have an important role to play as extension officers.
Minister Mustafa urged the extension staff to exercise leadership and initiative in the field going forward, as this has been lacking in some instances. He said it is imperative that training such as the current exercise becomes a regular occurrence so as to equip them with the knowledge to better service the farmers.
so that we can train and equip our extension officers with the kind of knowledge, keep them updated on the situation and the new strategy. But as I said, that the expectation out there is higher than before. And all of us must commit ourselves to the cause. Because too many times I am going out and we are hearing that farmers are complaining that they are not seeing their extension officers. We have to have more accountability in this section of the Ministry of Agriculture. Sometimes you might have to work by yourself. We depend on you to execute that kind of leadership on the ground, but sometimes it's lacking. It's lacking very much on the ground when we go out there to reach with the farmers. And if we have to develop the agriculture sector and move it forward, if we have to consolidate and expand on the traditional crops that we have been doing over the years, then you have that role to play. You have to impart the new knowledge into the farmers. You have to give that kind of leadership to the farmers. You have to help them overcome their problems. And this is not only financial issues I am talking about. Farmers can be very frustrated quickly. And we depend on you out there to take the ideas and also to help farmers to achieve the objective that we set ourselves.
Commenting on the training exercise for extension staff early in the week, Minister Mustafa, speaking on the sidelines of his Berbice outreach Saturday, explained that the training is but part of a bigger thrust to centralize and refocus the functions of the extension arm of the Ministry of Agriculture.
So I've recognized it since I've taken up this mantle, that we need to reorganize and restructure our extension services, or the extension services that we are offering. I don't think it is responsive to the needs of the farmers. Many of these officers are not accountable, and I want to ensure that we will reorganize the entire system, where we will have a central extension manager based centrally at my ministry, and we'll have regional coordinators, and these extension officers will ensure that they be more accountable. And also what we'll be doing regular training with these officers so that they can keep updated on the new conditions that are coming on stream. What we recognize also that there's need for our extension officers to educate the farmers in a better way. If we want to embark on new crops, if we want to diversify the sector, then the farmers have to change the way they're doing things. Right now it has a subsistence mentality, so to speak. Farmers reap the produce, take it straight to the market. We have to change that kind of culture. We have to have our extension officers more updated on the situation, what is taking place. So that is why I started the program yesterday, and in another month from now we'll have a 3-day training program at the Guyana School of Agriculture, which will be a regular feature for these extension officers, where we'll have resource personnel coming from various entities to educate them and put them in line with what is happening in the world.
Currently, each agency of the Ministry of Agriculture has its own corps of extension officers that deal with issues specific to the agency they represent. However, under the new structure being devised by Minister Mustafa, all extension officers will fall under one umbrella and be more general in their interactions with the farming communities across the country.